Hi, Tony Hayes here from Local Buzz Academy, and this webinar is about local search domination. How do you promote your business online? It's one of the most common questions we asked, and usually people are looking for a magic bullet, but let me tell you, either it takes work or it takes money. There is no magic bullet. Basically, the four main ways that you can promote your business online is through pay-per-click advertising, hiring an SEO company, do it yourself, or to rent a page one website. Now, I'm probably sure most of you are very interested how you can rent a page one website, and we will cover that. But let's just take a look briefly at the other options as we have them here. So pay-per-click advertising, what is it? Pay-per-click advertising is when you see the sponsored results at the top of the search engines when you do a Google search, for example. You also find it on Yahoo and Bing and other search engines usually. There's two ways that you can do pay-per-click advertising. You can either do it through the search network, where you'll appear at the top or down the side of the organic results, as we call them. But it's much better to be in the organic results. If you don't do pay-per-click advertising properly, it can get very expensive and it can run out of control very quickly and very easily. You need to be monitoring it several times a day. Even if you set a budget, you need to be monitoring it, because there will be specific keywords that are bringing in traffic to your website, and it is kind of useless traffic because people are just not going to take any kind of action. You need to identify the keywords that are profitable as quickly as possible, and delete the other ones that are costing you money. Pay-per-click is a great way to do it if you're doing it properly. Probably the easiest way to do that properly is to hire somebody. Now, it has its advantages, but it has too many disadvantages. I would not advise pay-per-click advertising for any small business who hasn't been doing it before, unless you're being trained to do it. Okay. The next thing is to hire an SEO company. Search engine optimization company, a search engine marketing company, they come in all kinds of forms of terminology there. And basically what they do is they either consult with you or they run your campaigns for you. They can advise you, they can do the job for you. They can be very expensive, as I found out to my own cost in 2006, and often without measurable guarantees. Some of these companies are very good. Usually these are the most expensive companies, and others are there just to, they might just be good salespeople. They might have some basic knowledge of SEO, but oftentimes they do not provide measurable results and guarantees. And in 2006, as I mentioned before, I wasted over £20,000 on SEO companies. I got a website built. I thought I was doing the right thing. Get a marketer to do it rather than a web designer. I was kind of right. I just chose the wrong company. And actually 3 companies I chose, and that's how I ended up losing over 20,000. At the end of that, I could not hire another SEO company again. I had to learn to do this stuff myself. So I've been learning how to do this since 2006. I've been doing it full time since 2008. And we got very good at what we do now. But I want to introduce you to some other concepts, and the whole theme of this webinar is going to be about local search and local search domination. I'll explain to you what that is and why it is so important as we go along through these video slides. Okay, so that is, I mean, one of the main problems with hiring an SEO company is they do not deliver on the promises within the time given often. You get some people who will go the opposite way as well. They will say to you, well, it will take a year to get there and it's going to cost you £6,000 or something. You get other people who say it can be done in a few weeks and they just can't do it. Often this is a major frustration, because for a lot of small businesses, they need to get a return on investment as quickly as possible. And I know that too. I've been running my own business since 1996. I've had several recruitment businesses. I've had a restaurant, and I've now got Local Buzz Academy, and I've had several search engine optimization services type companies as well. So I understand better than most what it takes really to put out a lot of money and expect to get a return on investment, or need to get a return on investment as quickly as possible. And with that in mind, the two solutions that we have come up with that we find is probably the best solution for a startup business or for a small business is the following. The first one is to learn to do it yourself. You promote your business online yourself, and you can do that if you know, it's a great option if you get access to the right training from people who have done it before, who are testing it all the time and can teach you step by step. And this is what we do at the Academy. We teach people step by step with online video training, and because it's online video training, it's over the shoulder training, and you just have to copy what I do. Basically, it's as simple as that. But we teach also where to outsource this kind of stuff and how to outsource it and where to automate. And these are the key components really, because a lot of this stuff can be time consuming. It's better to hire somebody, maybe pay them $3, $4, $5 an hour. They can get done in 2 hours what it might take you 7 or 8 hours because you're not familiar with it. And with the videos at the Academy, it gives you the opportunity to just give the videos to the outsourced worker, let them get on with it. And that is the cheapest way to do it. There isn't a cheaper way to do it than that, really. I wish I had something like that available when I had first started, but unfortunately every time I looked for something for small businesses, I got into so many email marketing lists and so many people's sales funnels that I was just spending money on things that were really not suitable for small businesses. They were more to do with affiliate marketing and other forms of internet marketing, which ultimately cost me a lot of money and a lot of frustration, and I got nowhere, and I got overwhelmed really, really quickly. Now what we have done is we've broken it down into modules, and the modules are very, very easy to follow, and it's just step by step by step. Okay, if you've got the ability and resources to hit the marketing really hard the way that we teach you to do, and when I say hit it really hard, I mean to do the right things at the right time. But you've got to be careful that we don't overdo it. But when I say hit it hard, I mean hit with variations of different marketing techniques all at the same time to be able to get yourself ranking quickly. And you're going to see what that looks like in a few minutes when we get down the slides a little bit. Okay. Done with this kind of expertise, this kind of knowledge, it's totally possible to dominate the first page of Google for keyword phrases that really matter. Okay. This is the cheapest way to do it. There's no doubt about it, but you must be willing to invest a little bit. As consumer prices for the Academy, it's not expensive at all because we're going for the volume and it's online training. It becomes a digital product, really becomes like air in some respects, but we need to get a return on our investment too. So the information we're given is highly valuable, but at the same time you could take that information, you don't need to run with it yourself, you can give it to an outsourced worker, get them to do the work for you at very low costs as well. Okay, and the other option is to rent a page one website. And how does that work? Well, you have it done for you. You get the professional keyword research done for you. You get the website built for you, the professional graphics. You get a Facebook fan page. You get professional graphics on a YouTube channel, on your Facebook fan page, which we will create for you. And also you get, you know, professional Twitter backgrounds and stuff like that. Having someone to do that for you and build it up it's probably the best way. It's not the cheapest way, but it's the best way, and I'll tell you why. Because you pay when we get it to page one, and at that time you should be generating leads and sales, so you can afford to do so by that time. There isn't any bullshit guarantees that way. It's real. It's, you know, you're on page one for keywords that we've already found are the best keywords for you that are commercial intent for people looking for your products and services. And when you're sitting there on page one, you're just going to keep continuing to grow your traffic each and every day and getting fresh new leads. Okay, so why local search marketing? Basically it's because it's a massively growing trend, and it's not going to go away. It really is not going to go away, and I'm going to show you some statistics in a minute. But it's the easiest and most effective way of getting fast search engine rankings, because it's still a bit like the Wild West out there. It's the best way to find commercial intent keywords, and I'm going to cover that in a second as well. And it's the fastest way to generate leads and sales for your small business. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. So let's take a look at some statistics here. Worldwide internet traffic grew by 62% in 2010. Now there's no doubt in my mind that is because of the use of smartphones, iPhones, Blackberries, all that kind of thing, Google Android phones, Windows 7 phones. these are becoming more and more popular. Internet is becoming cheaper on these mobile devices, and so the internet traffic is growing enormously year on year. That is not going to go away. It's going to continue. Okay, the head of Google actually thinks that desktop computers will become obsolete in about 3 years or something like that. Now, I'm not sure I can agree with that, but what he really is saying is that the trend is going mobile, and as it goes mobile, there's big opportunities there for small businesses, especially when it comes to things like mobile marketing as well, which we also cover in the academy too. Okay. So Google search engine still dominates with approximately 67% of all US traffic. Now, UK and US is quite similar in a lot of ways, and if anything, I would say UK is a little bit more advanced often than US, especially when it comes to new trends like mobile marketing and stuff like that. So I would presume that for the UK that would be around about the same as well. And it's really hard today to reach customers today through newspapers and phone books and even TV adverts. I mean, TV adverts, they get fast forwarded to get back to the program if it's pre-recorded. Newspapers, it's kind of hit and miss, but it's expensive. And when your newspaper ad is paid and your publication is come out and the next day it's gone. It's gone. If you spend the same money online, that information is going to be there long term. So I know some car dealers that spend something like £3,000 every Saturday morning to put an advert in a publication. Now, if they spend £3,000 with me to put it online, they'll be there on long term, and they would be done. Keywords that matter, and it's just the easiest thing to understand sometimes. But that's the way the internet is going. That's the way the world is going. Sooner or later, they will have to tag along with it. And you know that 87% of internet users gather shop information online. And that's before they buy. They're looking for information. They're looking for things like reviews, comments from other people, find out if this person is good to deal with, if has he got a good product or a good service, that kind of stuff. And it happens all the time. Right. Let me just go on to the next slide here. Studies show that search engines have beat the printed yellow pages when it comes to number of people looking for local information. Well, that's not really news as such anymore. I mean, that happened probably a couple of years ago, but it's still a lot of people at small business owners don't realize this. And, with the money they're spending on these, yellow pages ads, you could easily just put it online for the same money. You will have a long benefit. Okay, 98% of people are searching for something online never go past the first page of search results. Now, I'm guilty of that myself. Unless I find something on the first page, I might go on to the second page, and then I would probably change my search query. It is very, very common, and unless you're on the first page, or if you are on the first page, even if you're not even number one, you've got a good compelling headline, good compelling description, or a video is even better, which is even easier to rank, you will get people clicking through onto the website to get that information. Now, this is thing I've highlighted at the bottom here, this bit of text. Advertising spend for local search in 2008 was $3 billion. This has grown to over 20 billion just 3 years later. I actually believe that is incorrect. I think it's over 30 billion, but I don't have the statistics in front of me. And I was searching for them before I put the presentation together. I just couldn't find it, but my guess would be well over 30 billion by now, if not more. Okay. Local search totals something like 1 billion searches per month. That is growing at a rate of 50% per year. That's people using geographic identifiers. That means something like a town, city, postcode, that kind of thing. And almost 250 million searches of products and businesses are performed every day on Google. Somebody's looking for a specific product and my product name. It may well be that you sell it at your retail shop, or if you're looking for a service, it may well be that it's your kind of service. And from UK will have its share of that. And as I'm going to keep showing you with these statistics, this is the kind of thing that is just going to keep going and keep growing as we go on year for a few years yet to come. Okay. Now, 90% of local commercial searches result in offline bricks and mortar purchases. What does it mean? It means that people searching for things online are likely to get the information online and then buy it offline. Okay, and that probably is probably so high because there's services involved and another sales process involved. Then they search online. People instantly now go on the internet to get this information, and when they go on the internet to get the information, they will contact whoever's there giving the best information. They will go to the person who they believe has the authority and trust in the marketplace, the person they want to get information from, and ultimately he has the first chance to sell to them. Okay. Now, 74% of consumers search for online coupon services every week, and there's a recent survey done as well that says 47% of them would continue to do so. Actually, I think that's a little bit wrong. I think it was like it's supposed to go up 37% per year, year on year for the next 3 or 4 years, something like that. And then 25% spend up to an hour shop for the best online deals every week. Now these are massive bits of information that are very, very significant to any local business. The number of businesses using online marketing goes up on average about 8.6% per year. I believe it's higher than that, much higher than that. And the next one is really significant to me. 43% of Google searches have a geographic identifier in the search term. That's city, town, postcode. 53% of Google searches, people are putting in a local search modifier, as we would call it. So it could be London, it could be Kensington, it could be Islington, it could be Birmingham, it could be Manchester. This is a massive bit of information that we need to be able to grasp and take advantage of. If we can't take advantage of that, then your competitors will eventually. So you've got to see that kind of information perhaps before they do. And if you take advantage, you might well have first mover advantage, because when you get up to the top of the search engines and we're monitoring somebody else coming up behind you, we can go and take off again. And it's very, very hard for them to get you once you've got your first mover advantage, as long as you're monitoring it, okay? 6% of local consumers have consulted online customer reviews of local businesses. No surprise then. And have a look on Google Places, and you will see on the Google Places results, when you type Google search for a name of a city or a town or a post or something, you will see the maps pop up usually. When you see the maps, you will also see a little hyperlink. There's reviews. And people click on that. They want to know about your business. They want to know, are you a good person? Are you a bad person? Are you good to do business with? Is your product and service is good? Are your prices good? What was your customer service like? They want to know all those kind of things before they waste time by going over to your shop or your office or wherever, you know. Now, the real benefit, in my opinion, for local search, apart from all those great statistics, is that local search is usually highly commercially motivated when people are looking for a product or a service. Okay, for example, if somebody's typing in plumber in Notting Hill, it's usually because they need a plumber in Notting Hill. If somebody's typing in 24-hour emergency plumber in Kensington, he's not doing that because he needs some research or he's browsing, he's bored. He's doing it because he's ready to pay for that product or service. And it's the same for a lot of these commercial and for these geo-modified search queries. And they're putting in things like London, Notting Hill, Manchester, Birmingham, wherever you may be. If they're putting that in next to the name of a product or service, they're going to look at reviews, they're going to look for the product details, they're going to look for details about you, what is your price, look for other people's opinion about it, and that is really, really significant. It's like Yellow Pages on steroids. Really, it's a massive thing. And if you can take advantage of that as a small business, as a startup, if you're smart enough to grasp this, it can make it from being profitable and being able to expand or fighting for survival. It really is that important. Okay. Now there are 60,000 Google Android phones shipped out every single day, and every one of them has local search capabilities. And it's massive. It's just such a massive piece of information that if you can learn to take advantage of local search marketing, it opens up a whole new world of lead generation that has not been available until now. It's never been available at such high numbers and so easy to get into as well, because a lot of people don't do it. It's still like the Wild West out there with local search, and it just boggles my mind, the opportunities and the possibilities. And some of the search forums are absolutely massive, really massive. Okay, so next slide. Let me go here. Okay, let me go back a bit. Now, low business listings like Google Places are now overtaking the old Yellow Pages. We know that anyway. And as people are searching for products and services, you really need to find yourself at the top of Google Places to take advantage of that. Because remember, they don't normally look at page 2, page 3, page 4. Now, we have specific ways of optimizing Google Places, which are completely different from a normal website optimization. And that is part of the Local Buzz Academy. And being able to do that properly could bring in potentially a lot of customers on autopilot. And that's a good thing once you set this up. Actually generating leads and sales on autopilot. It's done once. Yes, it does cost money. Yes, it does take time. But that money becomes less and less over a period of time as you get more and more investment as time goes on. Whereas if you're doing the other traditional methods of marketing like adverts on newspapers or pay-per-click advertising, then you have to keep paying all the time to be able to get the same results. Okay, local search marketing is still like the Wild West, as I mentioned before, and done correctly, it's really not hard to totally dominate for, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. And It's very, very easy as well to integrate local search marketing with social media. And if you can do that, it could be actually potentially massive at very, very low cost. Because social media is something everybody uses, but not additionally used as a sort of marketing funnel. There is an extra step to it taken. But when people are talking, it's like word of mouth. People are using social media, it's like word of mouth, but on steroids. It really does spread very, very fast. Okay. Now, local search marketing offers you a very easy opportunity as well to establish yourself as an expert in your niche and your marketplace. You can become the go-to person just by giving relevant, good information and information that your competitors are not really using. And these are the kind of strategies you use. It's good to understand that you need to be at the top of the search engines, but there's specific strategies, marketing strategies, that goes well beyond SEO. SEO is one of the steps to try and generate the traffic, but you need to convert the traffic and specific strategies that you need to use to be able to do that. And one of them is giving good information, answering questions that people are most commonly asking, and I bet you nobody else is doing it. And there's various formats you can use. You can use video, podcast, articles, press releases. You can use webinar videos like I'm doing right now. There's many, many ways that you can do that. And when you get people coming to see your content and the information that they're looking for, they want to spend money with you. It's just what happens online. It's what happens in real life too. To give people that give to them. It's just reciprocity, I guess. But that's what's really happening. And there's a whole bunch of people out there who are, you know, like some of my SEO peers who try to make it sound like it's rocket science and sound like give her a jargon and it's mysterious. Well, it's not really. But you just got to know what to do and what to do, and you need to be taught by people who do it every day and people who actually test it as well, because by testing you refine your process, you're testing and tweaking, you're getting better results, and I'm going to show you what results look like in a second. Our main goal is to get a return on investment and resources as fast as possible without having too much trouble or competition for keywords that generate leads and sales. Okay, so what does it mean really? It means that we're going to pick keywords that are less competitive initially, so that we can start to get a very, very fast return on investment quickly as possible. And if we can do that, then we can go after the bigger keywords as well that might be a little bit more competitive, even if they are geo-targeted. Some keywords will be quite competitive naturally because geo-targeted, but there will be other ones. If we hit them really hard and hit them fast, and we can get to number 1, number 2, number 3, or we can start dominating that, which often happens quite easily, then you can start to get a return in your investment and reinvest it to go after the major keywords where it is more competitive, where there are higher search volumes, and where we can really stand from the crowd as well by giving great information and doing what other people. Okay, now, so what does search engine domination look like? I'm going to open a live Google search for you. I want you to see this. I want you to see it. It's not a screenshot. It's not something made up. And